Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it.
There'll be an extra fee for that. I'll think about it.
Alright, let's see. Let's get this.
I see the value in my
Oh,
own,
and finally,
but I also
back
see
at
the
it again
meaning in
with the
all
Genshin
the
Impact
endeavors of the
screen.
people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties.
I think whatever we were doing last time is what we're gonna do. Well, I haven't done my daily, so we'll like run through, do a little bit of chatting. And everybody that stopped by, thank you so much. Don't forget to leave a like and follow. We are currently streaming on YouTube, TikTok, and Kick. We're multi-streaming at the moment. Trying to spread the Sparkster on all platforms. I have to still try Facebook for sure. But let's see. We got a couple of people coming in. I appreciate y'all stopping by, like I said. Also, thank you for the 3 likes already on TikTok. You guys are the best. You guys are... Dang, TikTok works fast, that's for sure. I feel like TikTok really works fast.
Water
in the
comes
beginning,
in many
for like the
flavors
first
to the discerning
20-30 minutes, and then like it starts to slow
water is
down.
crisp and pure, while water from
Right now,
Liyue
for sure.
has an enduring aftertaste.
Got my
In
little breakfast
Inazuma,
going on.
the water
Got me a little
possesses
coffee,
a depth of
French vanilla.
flavor unlike any other.
And some Pop-Tarts.
Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile.
Now I feel like
but it must be savored
thank you so much for the
patiently to
follow,
fully
Liam.
Appreciate it.
Now I feel like I was supposed to do something, and I already forgot because I was just rambling on. I do play a lot of Genshin Impact. You're 1 away from 72.7k. That's awesome, Meg. That's awesome. Keep it up. Don't stop the grind. Believe in yourself. What we really need mostly is just to believe in ourselves, especially since we came up with like, you know, sometimes a strict family. I'm Hispanic, so I was raised mostly like, you know, how do I say this without, I guess I'm gonna have to just say it straight up, you know, you ain't worth nothing, you know. I was told that a lot growing up because, you know your parents get really mad and they just tell you the most messed up stuff. And sometimes we just need the words of encouragement, you know. Let's see. You're gonna do some dailies and, like I said, hop on to the storyline. There is a lot that I need to catch up on because the new region is about to release. Not anytime soon. I think what we have like 2 more patches or 1 more patch. We still got the summer patch, and I don't remember if it like pops right into the next like major storyline, so we can keep up. Let's see, where are we at? But yeah, I play a lot of Genshin Impact. Currently still looking to get Carnival Hunt. Hopefully I can play that with my viewers. And then I'm also trying to get the Mario Party that's coming out as well. I'm definitely going to be playing that with my wife and whoever is down to play. Oh crap. I don't think I've ever done this daily. And if I did, it's been such a long time. Stop floating away. Oh no, this isn't a daily, this is random.
Let the record show that I verbally consent to relinquishing these items into your possession.
Okay, that's awesome. Currently eating some strawberry Pop-Tarts. I do apologize again, everyone.
Wheel of life. Strike a pose!
Woke up.
Settle down.
Oh crap, I forgot they're immune. Well, how am I supposed to destroy them now? Yeah, I woke up. Turned on that, hot pot. That's an awfully hot pot. Coffee pot. What we got in the mail? Some stuff running out. That's only fun. I need someone better because I'm not gonna be able to destroy those little aqua ball eyeball things. Yo, what's up, Link Close? Over at YouTube, Mio, correct? Long time no see, man. How you been? Hopefully you've been great. Hopefully everyone that's returned as a returning viewer is doing good. I really, really hope everyone's doing good. I know the world sucks. Ooh, that's some good French vanilla. Now, who should I use against those little? This team. That's good to hear. That's good to hear that you're doing great. Please do good in the rest of your life. Have you been playing Genshin, man? I know a lot of people like haven't really been playing. Like a lot of people have just been burnt out.
One with nature. Can't see.
I'm still trying to keep up with the whole story too. I'm like what, 6 months behind with a lot of stories. So what, like 6 stories that I'm behind. Yesterday I accidentally did Lynette's storyline. So I'm like at the end of Lynette's. And I'm still doing the Archon quest as well. Wait, what am I doing over here for? I'm getting back into it? What made you come back to it? I'm curious to know what makes people come back to Genshin Impact. What does Genshin Impact have to offer that makes people come back? Or continue playing? For me, I feel like it's not much of the characters. I know the characters are part of it, but the storyline is probably what it is. The story, yeah. I feel like the story is really good. It's just I got really burnt out. Like really burnt out. I think they need to start changing up their daily system. I think they did, so now you can actually just or they're going to. I don't know if they did it already. Where you can just go to grind your little set, and then that will count as points to where you don't have to do your dailies. So I'm gonna start doing that instead. And I have to start freaking cleaning out my backpack because my backpack is just full of junk. Any games you're looking forward to, Link?
Right now. Emerge. Right here.
The wind knows me.
Damn, that boy chunky. It reminds me of me when I have a good meal. On my back, my stomach all out. Oh, it's one of these. Okay. Ah! Whoa! I remember one of these actually killed me at one point. No, it was on cooldown. Barnacles. Okay, where am I at? Alright, finally done with daily, so we're gonna be jumping on right into the story. So guys, don't forget to like and sub if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're lurking, I do appreciate the lurks as well.
Ad Astra. Thank you for
Hunter's Profit. Oh, that's right. We're trying to trap Farina, if I recall. Oh, it's at the top. I hate when I get confused whether it's the top or the bottom. I'm not the best at reading maps. I need someone in my crew like Nami. Alright, let's see. Where are we supposed to go? Over here. Perfect. We will be streaming for about 2 hours, guys.
Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on?
Maybe we're famous.
Let Paimon see.
I'll take the money, not the fame.
The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report. A blind adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead? Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time. Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat? Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake!
Oh my gosh, she's freaking... she's fat! I swear, it isn't already sold out for the day? What?
It was so delicious the last time we tried it! Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. Paimon's sure it'll be great!
Man, we can't let anyone get ahead of us anyways.
One slice of cake, please.
Oh no!
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Ah, you're the one that gets all the cake. Damn,
Every day?
yeah, isn't eating cake every day
It's
super
part
bad
of
for
my
you?
daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Ugh.
I wonder if that's all they eat.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
No.
But why would it close?
Don't make me think of such horrors.
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow. You know, like in the prophecy.
No.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. Still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy there. Always live to the
Huh.
fullest every single day.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
What?
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
And it's just so funny that sugar really does have a lot to do with someone's mood. Like, sugar can make you happy. It's been studied, you know. Just sugar in general. I'll be over there crying, but you'll over there be digging up on a whole gallon of ice cream, and you'll feel real good right after. Well, kind of bad too, because then you feel like you overdid it, and you feel a little fat. So, yeah. Like me, I'm drinking coffee and eating Pop-Tart. I feel good
And
at the
there
moment,
she
but
goes.
as soon as I'm done, I feel
All
like
right, let's dig in.
I feel ashamed.
Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious.
I put 2 whole scoops of sugar in my damn coffee. I need to stop doing that.
It's more delicious than last time, and the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
I like cake as much as not really. I'm not like the biggest cake eater actually. If it's cake, it's got to be like chocolate or some very 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 good vanilla. And the funny part is that I'm Hispanic, and I can't stand tres leches. Tres leches, I just can't stand it. There's a lot of stuff that my people will probably hate me for because I don't like tres leches. I don't like pozole. I don't like the other dish that's like pozole. I already forgot what it's called.
We're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
I put a shame to my ancestors. They look down on me and they're like, damn, you've been whitewashed. I was like, that's totally fine. I like pizza and burgers.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Yeah.
You've got some nerve. You just used us to make some quick mora.
Damn, use this for content. Sounds like a lot of people out there.
Oh, you needn't worry about that.
Yeah,
I
profit
heard
split.
that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a
Poisson.
letter to discuss just that.
I love how they say it.
It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really? Oh, you're the best.
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
Mona Lisa.
I see. It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Sounds just like Mona.
Nice. In which
Good
case,
impression, not
can
gonna lie.
this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
we even qualified enough?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and...
Damn, going all out.
Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
I don't think I'll ever love my job that much.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
What were you thinking?
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do? We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Okay, let's see. Microphone good. I'm gonna do a quick sound check. Okay, so it's good. Alright, until the moment comes, I think I'll keep journeying on. I mean, what can you do, you know? The end of the world is coming, but the best thing you can do is just live it all the way through.
You mean, still traveling?
Yes, cherishing every single moment.
Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Well, yeah. You gotta continue what you're doing. The next few days are so calm. This is such a sad setting, though. The end of the world kind of setting.
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough.
That makes sense. You're pretty much...
But it's still
sleeping
better
near
than
water.
the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervilat sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the fortress of Meropide.
So, under the impression that we might be wanted criminals.
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Okay, and did something happen?
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Ooh, a riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
Sounds
So
about
what
right.
happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing
like
that the
me, for real,
situation
for real.
was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
No.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet.
Where is she?
That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
I understand the
Good.
situation.
Monsieur Nervilat sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Is that so? Well, all right then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
Poisson! I like that. I like that word so much. You're caught on quickly.
If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And, as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up, too.
I
Cool,
see
huh?
becoming a detective done you some good, Paimon. Wow.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come!
Let's go. Poisson. I love that word. My new favorite word on Genshin. Poisson. What are we doing? What are we doing? Damn, we got 60 pulls. Sweet. Gotta keep gaining those primal gems. Never stopping. Never faltering. Ah! Ooh, I'm gonna make some pork chops out of you.
Let's move out.
Okay, where the hell am I going? Hey, this is underground. So I'm supposed to go through here, right? It's a robot just chilling here. Oh, and a robot dog. Nope. Weave.
Huh? Breathtaking.
Wait, is it really underground or is it up here? I don't want to go underground and it's not here. Yeah, I think it is underground. Yeah, it is. I've been bamboozled. It's just so sad that they killed a lot of people off on here. There's like a whole bunch of handful of people.
This place looks
son.
deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible.
Oh, there she is. Lady Farina.
That's Farina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
Alright, tackle her. Line in the water.
Should I just give up?
No, not the sadness.
This is all meaningless.
Profound sadness.
What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Aw. Right now, don't cry. It's alright.
Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over? Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina, it's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Oh, jeez.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were, disturbing my enjoyment of the arts? They even dared to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found.
He has a big facade.
And I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marish Chaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them too.
Stop trying to act tough, Farina. Show us what you really feel.
Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Farina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her.
Yeah, we lost him like a Scooby-Doo villain.
This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
Paimon's exhausted.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
She's so bad. This place is not what I'd call soundproof, you know.
You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
Oh, not another one.
What's happening? The ground's shaking.
Yeah,
Is it an earthquake?
Looks like another disaster just struck, I suspect.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Neverlette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already... It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years.
Hundreds?
I once had informants all over Tevat,
You old,
searching
Farina.
for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
But even then...
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
But that would also mean that all hope would disappear.
Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly,
The switch
considering
up.
my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all.
She's
Don't
so
take
fake, yo.
any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
So fake, but...
Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Right. We're running out of time. We just can't go back to square one like this. I have to get more information out of her. Farina, you might not have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden.
Yeah, just ask for help.
That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me, and what you'd call a witness.
A witness. Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here.
Anime main
And if
protagonist right
Tevat
here.
is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
More or less.
If that's the case...
There's no time left, please, Farina. Just spit it out.
I...
Wait, what the? How? Wait, what? They trapped Farina? No way! This was all part of the plan. That's crazy. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Wow!
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening
You
performance.
sly dog,
Now,
Lenny.
without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
How'd he do it? That's crazy.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
Oh god, Farina, drop the
May I
facade
interpret
already.
these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Damn, why they treating Farina like that?
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
She's still trying to save
Looking
face.
for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice! This time, I will protect you.
Alright, let's see where this goes.
Applaud and rejoice! One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine! The trial of the Hydro Archon, Fosalor, will now begin!
It's so funny because this Fontaine's region has so much dialogue. And I think that's probably what turned me away, was just the constant dialogue. It's probably what turned me away from this region.
Woohoo! Oh, now we're making history!
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes?
She does know how to work
Also,
the crowd.
even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
She
All right,
should
then.
probably do wrestling.
Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Ooh, me out of everyone. Me! The one that was trying to make her open up. Huh. Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
We were so close to getting her to tell us the truth, and it still turned out like this in the end. It's okay though, as long as we can defeat Farina in court, we'll still have a chance to figure everything out. That's hilarious. Objection!
Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula,
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontanian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
A whole house was a
As
magic
the
box.
super
Holy crap.
ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Areneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion...
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
Objection! No, you guessed wrong. I was always meant to be your friend.
Oh?
My mission was to give you one last chance. We hope that you share your secret with us before the magic box arrived onto the stage.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
I'll be right back. Gotta put up my plate and my cup of coffee. Alright, back. Oh crap, what up? Clicked out. Still can't help but a little bothered by the conversation earlier. What did Farina say to me right before we arrived
Sir
on stage?
Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte!
Charlotte.
exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine! So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument!
It's a super practical gift, I guess.
Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, all right. The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Nervillette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out. A Fatui Harbinger. She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source of professional regret, I think.
Yeah, she's definitely a news reporter.
According to Monsieur Nervillette, both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that still gives me shivers.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, come
Definitely
on,
gonna get this wrong.
Nervillette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct
Oh
as
crap,
an
keep
Archon.
talking.
Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Ooh.
Wait, what was that?
So Lady Farina was
Lady
never the
Farina's
Archon,
a
huh?
fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking her duty, but did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Wow.
Charge accepted.
So that's the
Lady
weight on her
Farina,
shoulders. Is
do you
playing
plead
the role
guilty
of
to the
Archon when
charge?
she's not.
Lady Farina,
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Pookie Lauren, hey, how's it going? Yes, I'm having a great
Even
day.
though
Thank
Lady
you for
Farina can be
chatting with
rather
me on
eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that
Spring
common
Journey's
sense
going pretty
will
well.
prevail in this case. Many
You're not
of
trying
the
to sell me
members of
something,
the
are you?
audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you
I've been
as the
streaming
god
for
of
about
justice
2 years, maybe?
that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
Thanks, Lauren.
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
No, I don't stream every day. I'm trying to slow down on the streaming every day. It takes a big toll out of me. But the people only see you as their Archon, Farina.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
You see, that's very, very interesting that she did live 500 years, so... I know it's probably like because she's a piece of the Archon. I think that's what it is. For sure, I think that's what it is. But we're about to see more of what's going on behind these scenes. So, what do we know about Farina that makes her so special? Okay, you're a professional artist. I kind of see them come in. We're channel artworks and stuff. Do you want to have a look at my work? No, I'm okay, Lauren. I don't want to look at artwork. You are probably the 10th person to, especially on Kick, to offer me their services, and I'm okay. Thank you.
That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't think this clue can be used as compelling evidence to build our case.
Oh wait, was I supposed to choose something? Wait, what am I choosing? Oh, why can Farina live for so long despite being she's human? Travis exclusive interview handbook.
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Yeah, I have all that, Lauren. I'm okay. Thank you.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
Okay, I feel like she is peaceful Archon though. It doesn't matter who gave us the information.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
Neverlet sensed it too, huh?
So Farina, instead of an Archon, could you just be a cursed human?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Wait, didn't the Archon... I think I heard something about the Farina being a half Archon, or the Archon's child,
start
right?
Celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods.
Ooh.
For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the endemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
I mean, that one trial proved the opposite. Farina actually has no control. So... what evidence proves that Farina's not a master of the Oratrice? Wait, is it giving me the answer? I guess it is. I thought I was gonna have to put some more thought into it. Okay, I do have to.
Doesn't think this clue can be used as compelling evidence.
Okay, so what are we doing? Was it the...
You tried to reference the Oratrice. But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
Oh, wow.
The real Hydro Archon. Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
Sure, we can put the Oratrice aside for now.
My power as an Archon. There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
You don't need to go that far.
I mean, a brief demonstration of your power over Hydro should be quite harmless.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
He's so full of it.
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
Ooh, ouch.
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Please, you've got to believe me.
The facade will
If what the
finally
prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is? If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up.
I mean, if we can't prove that she's the Archon, we can try to prove that she's just a human if she's a human. So... irrelevant. I feel like maybe the water? No, maybe not.
has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... that's not what we thought she would...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may...
Hey!
He actually did.
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved!
Yeah, I think she is the Archon's child or something.
I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewin? If you're present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siegewin?
Winnie the
Don't be
Pooh!
nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved! Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I believe you.
But that's really going on here. Farina can't have known the consequences of touching the water. I just don't like how she actually acts, unless it's actually more important to keep her facade than to save her own. She's given up everything a long time ago.
Listen to me! Listen to me, everyone! Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks! What happened just now didn't prove a single thing! Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Yeah, we're breaking the poor girl. That's so sad. All this for the truth.
Anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your Archon!
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is...
Guilty?
Guilty.
Damn! Dun, dun, dun! Everything just comes crumbling down, doesn't it?
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
Ticket machine like Star Rail.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
not guilty. Damn, don't tell me.
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon
is guilty.
To be punished via the
death sentence? What?
The death sentence?
Damn, why'd it go so crazy?
It's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
Jeez.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court.
Kind of extreme, if you
and
ask
it's been
me.
given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
She's about to accept her
This
death.
outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Vache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
More strange is instead of Farina, the Oratrice rendered judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
Excuse me, if I may interrupt.
Lemonade! I mean, Fermenade!
Is the trial still going?
Fremine, You finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
Oh, an extra stone slate?
The first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremenade to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh no. Father will be disappointed in me.
I mean, don't worry, the mystery hasn't been resolved yet completely.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremenade. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates, and would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
This looks like the previous Hydro Archon releasing her divine power, turning the Oceanids into human beings.
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that
very
she's not the
confusing.
Hydro Archon.
Really confusing moments here.
So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kinda talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
I mean, an association between the contents of the slates and the events in real life.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that because I don't remember. Short-term memory here. Alright, select to check the descriptions of the stone slates to extract key information from them. You can find scenarios related to the story slates, contents, and the incidents recorded in an interview notebook. There, you can verify said content. As the verification process continues, the Fontaine water level in the menu interface will rise. Okay. When you have finished verifying all stone slates, the truth behind the prophecy shall be revealed. Okay, let's go. Let's give it a crack.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans.
Okay. Uh-huh. I'm still following.
Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
Oh, that makes sense. That's why they turn into Oceanids. When they touch the water, they're just reverting back to what they were supposed to be. So everybody in Fontaine is Oceanids? But why did they reproduce like humans? It makes no sense to me.
The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them.
They're like, I want to be a real boy.
This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. Huh. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on.
Okay, so I guess meaning that she's gonna be all alone because everybody that was a Oceanid is going back to their original form, and that is her curse from the previous Archon, which I still think Farina's probably the child of the original Hydra Archon.
We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident, it was just a question of when and not if.
Okay, so the Stoneland and the ruin show in the prophecy describes the history of the future. The first piece that was originally missing has been found by Fermine. Okay, so the real events related to the prophecies in the prophecy slate. So I'm gonna guess it's for sure maybe this one, but I don't know. So this one, dissolving into the wife, right? Wasn't the wife still looking? Or is it Farina?
That doesn't sound quite right.
I mean, not Farina. Navia. So it's not Navia. So is it the
We
first
know
guy?
from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved in primordial seawater.
And why?
the first stone slate tells us that long ago, the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans. This might be the reason that Fontanians can dissolve.
Why the Oceanade was still looking for that one lover. So it's like, yeah. It's like they long to be humans. Then this one. Okay. This one. The Prophecy Slate 3. I think I'm just gonna randomly pick some because I really don't know. The corporate Farina was not the Hydro Archon. Well, I feel like this one definitely might match this one here.
That doesn't sound...
Okay, I was totally wrong. Okay, we're just gonna go with the second slate. So that way we're kind of like going with the flow here. Maybe child? It would kind of be lame if it's just like first one's the first one, second one's the second one.
That doesn't sound quite...
It's not Navios. Could it be Childs?
That doesn't sound...
Okay, no. Equivocation of conscience. She believes that prophecy will certainly happen, but that you needn't give all hope.
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervalet mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
Okay, so it's never before past the court judgment. Okay. Oh, okay, so that prophecy is like what's happening now. Okay, that's what he was meaning. So, basically passing judgment to the Hydro Archon. Okay. And now it's everybody else versus her. But in a circle, right? So, could it be Navia's thing? Or... might be Navia. Yeah.
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing?
I'm BSing my way up. I'm not really good at putting 2 to 2 together. So now...
That doesn't...
we mustn't give up, because...
That doesn't...
Why? I guess it's...
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded.
I lied on my
with
resume,
primordial
guys. I'm not a
seawater,
lawyer.
which we know can cause Fontanians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
It's inevitable. Right, the overflowing of water. Here we go.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay.
No, she was supposed to dissolve also.
The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The stone slate's content can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truths should come to light.
Verification complete. So, in conclusion, what is going on? I want to know. Tell me.
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now. So that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Ooh.
Let's hear them.
Unravel the truth. The first slate reveals that Fontanians are not real humans. Yeah.
Incredible.
They want to be
Lenny,
real people.
Did you hear that?
They want to be real boys and girls.
Not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater.
Ah, yeah,
and
that
how
makes sense.
all the girls Vache dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial. All of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
So the second reveals that the crime of the Hydra Archon was her creation of Fontanians from Oceanids.
And it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratries judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
But that also means that
The Hydro
Farina
Archon's true
is an
sin
Hydro Archon.
was creating us.
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese.
But if they're
The
originally
twists of history are often the
Oceanids,
most unexpected of
how
all.
do they still pass as a, like, well, I guess die? When they pass on like regular humans. So weird. As for the third slate, I'm still convinced that it should come after the fourth slate.
Isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea?
So is she supposed to fall in? So in other words, she might have to fall
Show
into the
the
sea.
image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate?
Despite the fulfillment of the prophecy, as it's already widely known.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
Not for that, for Farina to be
You've
over
made
them.
some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source.
Huh?
When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth.
Well? Did you get it?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, She eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids.
Damn, so everything we know about Fontaine is a lie!
Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the Heavenly Principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing.
Yeah, take what you heard with a grain of salt, I guess.
Wait,
or...
but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be
Or believe
sentenced
what
to
you
death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontanian.
Wait, does that mean Farina knew all this the whole time?
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct.
So they are correct. Huh, so they are in the right order? What is the third slate supposed to represent then?
A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
Wow, so...
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy,
all they did was fulfill
in
the
truth,
prophecy.
everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
I mean, I don't know. It feels like there's no way out of this.
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate,
I just put two and two
you
together
probably
right now.
thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes?
So, I guess that explains why, that explains a lot, because that explains why Fontanians can breathe underwater and swim underwater for such a long period of time and are like really good swimmers. And that does explain quite a bit. I don't know about Neuvillette though. I don't know if he's like considered that since he's a dragon. Which is kind of like that. But I guess yeah, I think I'm starting to make sense of all this. Because they're basically Oceanids.
However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
I have? Please tell me more. So what is the true force?
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
The root cause of the disaster was... It was... It's the sea? verify the truth. I feel like that might be the last thing. At first performance, they were cleared. Crap. Okay, we're going backwards. I'm just gonna make some educated guesses here because I really don't know.
It
The
was
will.
both dream and reality.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
But why does the whale want revenge? Who is the whale? And what does it have to do with Child? It's so funny though, because Child is actually originally from Snestein? Or is it the other way around? Originally from Fontaine, went to live in Snestein. I already forgot. Oh, crap! The whale just appears right then and there? Oh, dragon versus whale, who's gonna win? Oh, damn, that thing's coming right for him. The whale's that strong, huh? Well, I hate giant sea creatures. Oh, that is creepy. No! Oh! If it isn't our main man, Child himself. He's been fighting the whale the whole time? Damn! Get him, Child! Wow, they had a double team that time. I'm like, alright guys, y'all win. I'm out. Please don't chase after me. He said, you suck! Went back inside.
That was way too close!
Well, pretty cool too.
Burst into the opera house! Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
And I wager that was also the one that Child saw when he was young.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels.
Hey, the climax of
And
this is
once
pretty
it has
awesome.
finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be
To
You
devour
said
every
that
human.
when the Hydro Archon first created
Or Fontanian.
Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible to resist.
Gluttonous little whale.
Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontanians.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
Oh no, but Child actually dissolved, touching the water, so he's the original Fontanian, right? And that's why he's fighting the whale now.
That
Maybe, I don't know.
maniac. We've always known that he
That
had a
battle
special
maniac.
connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
It is too late.
I mean, what do you mean, Villa?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
As the hero and main protagonist of this story. Could it be that even the prophecy will be fulfilled, there will still be a way to save everyone? I missed something. What did we miss? Farina, what is that she wanted to say to me at the last moment of the giant magic box? What is her real secret? She's the child. The child of an Archon. Oh, what the hell?
What's
That's
happening
new.
with the aura trees?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
She was so lost in her guilt. I knew she was gonna sit there and accept it.
I still need answers.
Is it like death to her human form and for her to become the actual Archon? Touch! Oh, what was that about? Oh. Oh. It's the actual Archon. Oh, this is neat. How dare you hurt my child? Or something like that.
You.
Farina. Oh, how they
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, As you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
So another generation.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina.
So basically, it is her child.
She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings.
Because she's short.
But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be.
Puzzler actually looks taller than Farina.
So then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles.
Man, that's quite a burden she kind of put onto her.
Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass.
Damn.
I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Kind of a messed up fate that she gave Farina. Ouch. Came into contact with Farina's tears. If I remember correctly, tears often contain... Damn it! I didn't get a chance to read it! Whatever. With a sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I can form an emotional connection just like I did with the Oceanate and at the Fontaine of Lucine. Could this be Farina's inner world? What is she doing on stage? Wait a moment. That probably isn't Farina. It's like the reflection of her inner self. If I could directly speak to that self, I might be able to easily get what I wanted to know. I came here for answers. Either way, this opportunity is not to be missed. Let me try talk to her. Okay. I climb. I don't climb. Really? You're gonna make me go all the way around? Yeah. Alright, Farina. Give me your 2 cents.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules.
Farina?
All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you.
Her inner thoughts.
There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
But I don't see an audience here.
Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel it?
Oh, you see? Please let the lights go off. In other words, she's done playing the role. She's tired of playing the role. She wants to be free from the role.
I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility.
Farina's a paid actor. Something off. There's nothing getting through to her. Even in her heart of hearts, she's still playing the role of the Hydro Archon. What sort of resolve must she have that even her inner self and subconsciousness would even have such an impenetrable defense? I have to find a way. Turn off the spotlight.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Also, guys, I appreciate the 51 likes on TikTok. You guys are the best. Thank you. Well, that's all the spotlight turned off, and Farina's heart, they must have symbolized the eyes of the people on her. Speaking of which, I think I just received some sort of signal. Was that her true first? Her voice, I mean? The ticket, when did that end up here? Ticket to be judged, huh? Oh, a ticket to her show. Front row seats. It looks like the show's about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Farina. See one before the mirror. Arena. Wow, this is actually really well put. Plays Farina. Okay, she steps onto the stage and looks herself in the mirror. And she finally gets to speak to herself. And truly speak
Farina.
what she truly feels.
Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're mirror me? How
she
can
is
this
taller
be?
than her, right?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me. What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Ouch.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
Wow, so you're telling me Fontaine has been Archon-less this whole time, about 500 years? But where is the original Archon? Is she like in the... like in the middle of both real world and non-real world? I don't know. But hey, how's it going, D. Johnson? How's it going? How's it going, Mr. D. Johnson? Why are you talking to me like I'm old? Please don't do that, please. I already know I'm old. But anyways, it is very interesting that she's kind of like in the what they call it when it's the middle of life and death. I just can't think of the word. Still blushing like a maiden, I see. Yes, because you popped up, man. You make me blush, bro. You're my world, bro.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like.
No, I have not been playing
Remember,
Wuthering Waves. I don't think I
Your
am.
true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
What about you, D. Johnson? Are you playing it? Is it any
I'm
good?
still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
It's really good. I should try it once. I don't know. Probably.
How
No promises,
exciting.
though.
I'll be looking forward to it.
I'm for sure dropping Star Rail, though. I don't think I'm going to be playing that for any much longer. I'm still kind of like going in, doing dailies, and getting out. And I have a whole bunch of wishes. So, or rewards, or whatever the hell they're called. Definitely going to drop that one. We are looking to get the new Mario Party. If you get that, we can play together. Because it's 20 players. And the Carnival Hunt. I do want to get Carnival Hunt. Which is like, Dead by Daylight? Is that what it's called? I don't remember if that's what the game was called. I think that's... Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, it's another like a horror survival game. So those two are definitely going to want to get. And like another game that I just can't remember. But for sure, those two, for sure, I'm trying to get. Act 2, Scene 2. Or Act 1, Scene 2. Ascension Speech Arena. How you been, D. Johnson? You been playing any Genshin Impact, or did you finally like completely drop it? Did you see the new region? The new region looks awesome. I am currently streaming on TikTok and YouTube. And I do have chat up, so if anybody wants to chat, just go ahead, chat it up. Keep me company. No, I hate when they make me go all the way around. Gotta give it more dramatic scenes here.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Verena de Fontaine, your new Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-back puppet.
So it's the people's fault for Farina being such a stuck-up Archon. They reap what they sow.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake?
That's funny.
If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving the people from the prophecy.
It's the people's fault.
Myrmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think. What do the people want? How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I'm fated to play. Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them?
Damn, so she's been carrying a facade for 500 years.
It seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin.
Turn up the drama.
The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice.
Crank it up.
And on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine. There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
They love me. They really, really love me. Reina, like I said, knows how to work the crowd. Well, I guess on to the study, huh?
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things. How could you hope to understand?
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. All right, Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and to bring your words back to him.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
You're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy. The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole
rough.
time.
I haven't
But it's
keep
good
doing
to
that
see
day after day
everything's
for 500
getting
years.
on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion. Maybe this is fine. I just need to keep going, and everyone will be saved. All right, Farina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
Scene 4, Opera House Farina.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Farina, I've waited so long for this chance to see you in this manner.
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute. I don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to rest early today, too.
Scene 1800.
Lady
Jesus.
Farina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Deoteria, almost 20 generations ago.
Yeesh.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer, a descendant of a line most ardent.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Are you crying?
Uh-huh. Oh, really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder.
Damn,
no
that
wonder.
looks
A
sad as hell.
manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
So interminable. So lonely. Just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? No. Perhaps I reached it long ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries, but there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain.
How's it going, cat in the box?
It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
The scene number. It's a lot of scenes, huh? To continuously play an actor. Oh, my wife is calling. Give me 1
Farina,
second.
you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case... He's right. I could confide in him, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price. No, Farina. You shouldn't be selfish. But what if it's really alright? Farina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Just this once. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows? Surely it could not hurt. If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never come by again. Think about it long and hard. No, I have nothing to say. I am Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself.
Ouch. Anyways, hi Pandora, I'm so sorry. I had to answer that phone call. Waifu's getting us some Starbucks. But yeah, tired from school. Oh, wow. Wait, yesterday? You're still tired from school? Why are you in summer school, Pandora? Is this extra curriculum, or is this because you're doing bad in school? Pandora, I'm ashamed of you. I thought you would have been smarter than this.
She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not?
You're not doing bad in school? Then why are you in summer school? I always assume when someone's in summer school, they didn't do too well, because I went to summer school almost every year. And that's because I was a very, 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 not bad kid, but just didn't want to do anything in school. I was lazy. It's just burnout? Damn, that sucks, Pandora. Hopefully you can get your little vacation before you go back to school.
How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Udex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
Okay, that's interesting. And it's called Dual Credit Course. Basically, it's a college level course that you can sign up for and the school district pays for. Oh, wow, that's cool, Pandora. It sounds like you're what's the word I'm looking for? You're going places. That's what I'm trying to say. That's good, Pandora. Get ahead of the curve. I'm proud of you.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered?
Ooh.
My work
The
over these
curtain
last
is
500
about to
years
fall.
has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the oratories. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority has been, had to be, accumulated to enact this death sentence.
It was all a part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the oratories. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course.
Wait, what?
In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
So, for Novelette, does Novelette become the actual Hydro Archon, or...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked.
Damn.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry.
Dragon.
I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
Damn. That was... the climax of this whole thing is incredible.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Damn. This probably might be the best Archon story yet. Might be better than Ventis. Damn. Just as I wish I could. But we could. Dragon. God. Hold it in, Sparky.
I, Iudex Nervalette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Gosh. Yeah, this is probably the best when it comes to story and the Archon specifically. It's probably one of the best. Other than Semuru's
What just happened?
the little
Has
plant
the death
people.
sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
No, well,
I
it
have
just got a
gained
power
the
up,
strength
huh?
sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from that creature.
Damn, that is
We
crazy.
should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
So you obtained power?
Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice.
You mean me?
The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring Narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
That's crazy. Oh, we get to fight it right then and there? Oh, that thing's creepy. That gives me chills.
But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
That's true, it is.
I've already done my best to separate the power from my walls away. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening to
No, but I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
I'm busy trying to survive.
Right here.
Can't see? I hear everything.
Emerge, right now. Rest and rebuild!
And shroud!
Oh. So much going on.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. A chance will present itself.
Oh. That looks crazy. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh, that's right. You fight something inside.
What's in me over there?
Oh crap! Ah!
Allow me! A sight to behold. Emerge, right here, right now.
One with the force.
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Ah.
Here, let's nip that in the bud.
Oh crap!
Berry!
So much going on.
One with nature. Fallen leaves adorn my life.
Right here.
And shroud.
Oh, you son of a... Wait, where'd he go? Have to heal again.
One with the force.
Here we go. Oh, I thought I was gonna keep going. Down it goes. Who the hell is that? Can't save child. Oh wow. Wait, who the hell is that?
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point.
Master's pet?
But they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
What did she grab?
Hyman has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using
She
power
looks like a
from
Star Rail
beyond this
character.
world. So you may speak to me as equals.
I mean, what sort of person would take the all-devouring narwhal as a pet?
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sertologi.
Ooh?
Huh?
And what vision
I am
is she?
unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I
fowl?
describe
The
him
bird?
then?
Bird,
Have you heard of the
bird,
name
bird.
the Fowl?
The fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir then? Or Gold Rhindaughter?
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhindaughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Albedo's mom.
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhindaughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you.
I'll be right back. Quick restroom break.
that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you.
Alright, we're back.
Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
There's little to be surprised about, Paimon. It's natural after all, the prophecy will surely come true. We knew this and accepted it. However...
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Furina will remain, weeping on her throne.
Oh, wow.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Is that really what happens? So Fontaine goes completely underwater?
Hey! Help! Over here!
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, the boat.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
We're saved.
The prophecy was wrong.
You're not sick, are you?
No, it's. I don't know
Why? There shouldn't be.
The soul renewed.
Sure.
The Sympathy Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Sympathy Rasula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it. Skyship Winglet, lunar brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down. The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
Paimon's curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on! Let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
And that comes to the conclusion, I guess. I guess the rest of the storyline might be the finale go to Poisson. I don't know how I probably should finish it. Hopefully it's not too long. I know it's like more like the wrap up. We're trying to wrap everything up. So yeah, let's give it a try. Alright, time for the wrap up. And then that's gonna be it for us. We're gonna wrap this up and I gotta finally relax. I didn't realize I was gonna stream for 3 hours. I thought I was just gonna stream for 2. And I guess the next step is doing the rest of the storyline, which I think it might be... Man, I'm trying to remember his name. I can't seem to remember it. Dainsleif, that's who. I think the next storyline is Dainsleif. Uncover more of like the stuff that's going on underground or in a different dimension or whatever. I actually already forgot what that spot is called. Is that a Fatui?
Navia! Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Claire?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision-makers. And, well...
Wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
Yeah, she's gotta get the...
Forget it.
Scoop.
I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
Inside scoop.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor for Navia's sake?
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler. It's better than wasting time persuading Chlorand at any rate.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up and smile.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Chlorand.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Wriothesley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
Yep. About to check everyone that we've met. Finale. Now where the hell am I supposed to go? Over here? Must say, I'm not really too happy coming back to this place. Kinda glad that this was all over.
Guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to—
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier,
Sir, please don't say things like that.
What? Are they
But it
dating or
looks like
not?
dear
I just
Mr.
need to know
Jurier
the
denies
answer
it.
to that.
Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This is my first time...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on. The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh! Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
Yeah, definitely knows how to squeeze an opportunity
You
out.
already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have
Hey,
to use the
Morningstar,
word
long time no
couple?
see.
Well, then, 2 solo photos
You
will
have
do.
C1 for Ina? Should
Is
I
my
get
hair messed
C2
up?
or C for
Please, someone
Elon?
help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. We've seen
I would
this
try to
kind
get
of thing
Yelan.
before.
Yelan is like really, really good. Especially if you're putting her in like auto attack
Seems
teams
like everyone's here.
or basic
Would any
attack,
of you
not auto
like to
attack.
try this new drink I came up with?
Ah,
I would rather try to go diverse
Hey,
when it
Miss
comes to like
Charlotte.
getting
Why don't you take some pretty
characters
photos
onto
of
the
our
game.
head nurse? Sure. Come on, Miss Siegewayne, over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
Same old, as you can see.
Still there,
Fontaine's
the back
undergone
posing.
some changes, but this place is still more or less the same.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurrier? Miss Lurvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, just pity.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two. I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that the boss seems
what was that? That scared me.
The bad being that they must face extended
Was that a
sentences for
subscribe?
abetting
Thank you
his
so
escape.
much for the subscription.
Oh, actually, what about you?
That
Are
scared the
things
crap
gonna
out of
change
me.
for you too?
What
Morning
change
Star,
can there
thank
be?
you for the subscribe.
The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. Until then. Oh,
Riceley doesn't like
last
being
stop, the
in
docks.
public, I guess. We're the center of attention. Alright. Okay. Wait, where am I supposed to go? It's the back of this place, huh? Or is it? Oh, it looks like it's at the bottom. And down we go.
I didn't see them! They really are here! How did you know?
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Magic pocket.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you.
Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
Of course she looks at us.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by, I'll help you make some more friends?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please, write down my address.
You see? What are
And
friends
I'm
for?
sure he's working hard to help Fremine socialize.
To help them hold your stuff and
He was the one who proposed doing this.
instill all their
He even wants to
materials
assist in our
whenever you
magic shows.
pull a new character on Genshin.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh,
Good
it'll work
question.
out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, Traveler?
I'm doing alright.
Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
That's alright. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and
what
Monsieur
was that?
Neuvillette
Thank you
opened
so much,
negotiations
whatever that was.
during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
What? Who?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, there were actually a number of things going for it. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
They just collecting all of the gnosis, like,
We're talking
no
about.
matter what.
Doesn't this seem a bit irresponsible?
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
So there's some reason for this that only Neuvillette knows about?
Oh, the Fatui.
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking
Half
of
the
which,
bad guys.
I did see him strolling around the entrance to the Fortress of Meripede a while back.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
Well, I guess I can now call him one of my ward buddies.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
That her? The knave? She still looks evil as
Father!
Fasha!
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the Traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
Will you keep to your position?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Actually, I just remembered something. Please help us deliver
A
this.
vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That
Oh,
is
wow,
correct.
that's crazy.
So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable. Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a good day, you two.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Shall we go see what Neverlette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
Alright. This should be the last bit of it. Now, how do I teleport? Damn, I can do all that walking? Of course.
Keep up.
No, that is far. Time to bring out the traveling thing.
I'm out of here!
Yeah! Skyward! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Wait, I'm at the wrong area? Could have sworn it was glowing to go inside. I guess I am wrong. Oh, there's an elevator back here. What's that? No.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there!
Ah!
Scatter!
Boring! Useless!
So, you really are here, Neverlet! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Whoa. So that's what happened?
Yeah, I only saw Farina's part myself.
Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off. I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Yep, that is my question.
Life has
that one was
always
weird.
flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontanians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now. Either way, seems like this ritual won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as a local custom.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Well, they never reproduced. They just wished for a child. Oh man, that's.
About that. Ryza said
I don't know how well that's sitting in my head.
What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House, not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay. Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis.
Well, no,
The
we're still
Oratrice
gotta
has
fight
ceased to
like
function.
Lenny
The
and
Hydro Archon's
the
divine
knave
throne is
in the
now no
future.
more.
Because,
And I do
they're
not
still
need the
kind of like
Gnosis's power.
the bad guy to
As
us, I
such,
guess,
it
in
has
some
lost
sort of
all
way.
meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
But the next stop on my journey.
You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume.
Ooh, not Lana.
I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land.
Let's go, sneak peek.
As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of
A
dragons.
nation of dragons?
Dinosaurs,
You
basically.
mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, The dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
Ooh.
Captain.
We're gonna meet the captain.
Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you.
Okay.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. Paimon still got a question about the Gnosis. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry up.
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third Descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Huh. According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts. And my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third Descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger, then.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that...
The remains of the... So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by...
It Descender, she mentioned one of them. I am the fourth Descender. For me, this information means two things. Once the Gnosis is related to the Descenders, and two, that the one who came before me has already died.
I guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third Descender. I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
So that explains why I can take any
Like being
power.
able to use elemental powers without a vision. That does sort of count as special compatibility, right?
So the Traveler's a Gnosis?
No, let's not
something?
think about this stuff right now. It just feels... comparing the Traveler to the dead third Descender and all.
Don't worry, I won't die so easily.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is...
Alright. Whatever the case, it seems like...
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for the...
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human.
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
Can you understand the will of the
I
gods?
suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what, ultimately, is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?
That's it, we're finished! Finally, the finale, and the curtain has closed. So it says, go to Samurai Adventurers Guild to talk to Catherine. So we don't get any more... I guess that's where the Farina questline comes in, and kind of like filling in like the aftermath and whatnot. And Samurai Catherine seems to have a tricky commission for you. For your docket. Oh, we're going back to Samurai? Huh, interesting. Focused experience mode? Enable focused experience mode to avoid conflicts with other quests occupying locations or characters. I'm not gonna activate this now, probably next time. But it looks like we're finally, like that's it. And then we got filler that we need to do. But other than that, guys, I appreciate everybody that did stop by. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the new subs. And I'll be catching you guys on the next run. Bye, everyone.